All right, my statisticians, this is how we do the 5-number summary and then use that 5-number summary to make a box plot. All right, so the 5-number summary, I usually write it like this, 5-number summary, right? It includes some really easy stuff, the min, the median, and the max. But then it also includes the first quartile and the third quartile. And those are things that are always tricky for people to understand. They don't need to be. The first quartile is the median of the smaller half of data. The third quartile is the median of the larger half of data. And by smaller and larger, I mean where the values are. All right, so let's fill in the min and the max first. So the min here, this is the 2009 jumping frog data from class. And the max is 252. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is find the median. I'm going to count how many things we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 frogs listed. So that's an even number. So the median is going to be between the 4th and 5th frogs. So that's right here. That's going to be my median. If I had an odd number of frogs, I would just choose the one that's in the middle. Like if I had one more frog, I would choose the 9th, or the 5th from the top or the 5th from the bottom. It's the same number. But for this one, I have 4 and 4. So I need to take the average of those two numbers. So I'm just going to add them up and divide by 2. 226.75 plus 223.25 and divide that by 2, and I get 225, which we actually found already today using our e-tool. Okay, so now when I'm finding Q1 and finding Q3, I never include the median in my data. I include the min for Q1, I include the max for Q3, but I never include the median. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a data point or not, I never include it. So to find Q1, I'm going to use this half of my data. I have 4 values, so this is going to be my Q1. So I'm going to take the average of those two, 222.25 plus 223.25 divided by 2. Whoops. Sorry, I missed the divided by button. So that's going to give me 222.75. Just kidding, that goes here. Yes. Q1 is always going to be between the median and the min. All right, and then we'll do purple. This is going to be where I find my Q3. I want the median of this half of data, this half of the data set. That's going to be my Q3, so I'm going to average those. 236.5 plus 231.5 divided by 2 is 234. So that is my Q3. Okay? Easy peasy. That's the 5-number summary. Hold on. Sorry. That's my 5-number summary. That's the information I'm going to use to make my box plot. Most important thing about a box plot is that you make a number line, and the intervals have to all be the same. So I'm going to start smaller than my mean and go to bigger than my max. So I'm going to go 180. Oh, I guess it doesn't have to be quite that small. Hold on. 180, 200, 220, 240, 260. I guess I made it a little bigger than I needed to. Okay. All right. So my minimum's at 185.25. So I'm going to put a line at about 185. I'm going to put a line at about 222. I'm going to put another line at about 225. I'm going to put a line at about 234. And I'm going to put a line at 252. Okay. So a little horizontal line at each one. Draw a box between the 3 in the middle and a whisker out to each side. And that's a box plot. They're super easy. One thing you should notice about this box plot when you look at it is that the length of the box is really small compared to the length of the whole graph. That means that your data is clumped up in the middle and then spread way out on the sides. That should make perfect sense based on what we saw for the histogram for the 2009 data. Okay, so watch that again if you need to, but that's how you make the box plot. Come in with questions, but try to do the problems in your homework by yourself. You can watch the video with them if you need to, but let's sum it up. We find the minimum, maximum, and median. Then we find the median of the lower half of data, that's Q1. The median of the upper half of data, that's Q3. Never use the median when you are finding Q1 and Q3. Then you make a number line. You make a mark at each of the numbers from the 5-number summary, connect the 3 in the middle, and draw a line out to each side. One other thing that I wanted to tell you about this, can't remember what it was, I'll have to tell you in class. Yeah, that's it. Box plots are pretty easy. They're super helpful. They're really nice in summary that you can't see as much detail, but they show you a really good snapshot of where the data is distributed. Okay, that's it. Oh, I guess I'll tell you the distance from here to here. Oh, I know what it was. The distance from here to here is called the IQR, which is also known as the interquartile range. And that's a really commonly used measure of spread. Right, and when we look at the IQR and how small it is here, it tells us that most of our data is really clumped together, right? Because most of our data is really clumped together. Q1 is called the first quartile. It means 25% of the data is below it. Q3 is called the third quartile. And that means 75% of the data is below it. So I want you to think about why we don't have a Q2. And we'll talk about that next class. But again, that's your 5-number summary. That's your box plot. It's a really good way to look at the data and get a picture of kind of how it's set up very quickly. All right. That's all I got for you. Give it a try. Come in with questions. I'll talk to you soon.